Senator Kirk opened with the introduction of Mr. Shaw. It is a bipartisan process, and I'm happy to lend my name in support of his candidacy or nomination. He's the nominee of a historic moment in that he would be the first Article III judge of South Asian descent to serve in our state of Illinois. I understand that Mr. Shaw is joined by his family and friends, whom I'm sure he'll introduce at a later moment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ranking Member Grassley, and to Chairman Leahy as well for scheduling this hearing. Senator Durbin, I thank you for your support of my nomination. I also thank Senator Kirk for his efforts on my behalf. I also thank President Obama for this nomination, which is the greatest honor of my professional life, and I'm deeply humbled by it. My family is here today, and I would like to introduce them to you. My wife, Joanna Grissinger, is here. And without her support, and sacrifice, I would not be here today. My mother-in-law, Patricia Grissinger, traveled a great distance to be here, and I appreciate her support. My father-in-law, John Grissinger, was unable to attend the hearing, but I understand he's watching on the webcast. My brother, Dr. Ash Shah, his wife, Rebecca Shah, and their two children, my nephew, Alexander, and my niece, Sonia, are here today. Had to juggle very busy schedules to be here today, and I appreciate their support. A very dear family friend, Mrs. Kala Prasad, is here today, accompanying, finally, my mother, Mrs. Dina Shah, and I appreciate all the support that my family has given me. And one final word of thanks. My father, Dr. Suresh Shah, passed away last year. He would have been thrilled with this moment for me, and I'd like to take the opportunity to at least place his name in the record of this august body as a small token of my thanks. And with that, I'm happy to answer any of the questions of the committee.
Thank you. I'm sure your father would be honored to see you before us today, and in his memory, we will be remembering him, and as your family is at this moment. Let me ask you, Mr. Shah, just a few questions for the three nominees. Most of the work which you'll probably do on the federal bench will be of a criminal nature to start with. Not exclusively, but a lot of criminal work. And there'll be many criminal defendants who will stand before you in a courtroom seeking justice. And they'll undoubtedly know that your background is primarily that of a criminal prosecutor. They may wonder if they're going to get a fair shake from someone who spent most of their legal career at the other table. What assurance could you give them in this committee today about that concern?
Senator, thank you for the question. I can give this committee my personal assurance that if I were fortunate enough to be confirmed, I would absolutely shed the role of an advocate and become the neutral arbiter that I firmly believe the judge must be. For stability and integrity of the rule of law, the judge must be open-minded and fair to all who comes before the court. And I will say that it's been my experience as a prosecutor that being a prosecutor is not just being an advocate seeking a conviction at all costs. A prosecutor has to be thoughtful about the very consequential decision to bring a criminal charge. And I've been fortunate enough to experience a prosecutor's office that takes that responsibility very seriously. And I have learned from, I hope, the very best, and I've tried to pass on to others in my office that one should never forget that the choice to bring a criminal charge affects defendants, and that one should always consider the vantage point of the defendant when wrestling with issues in criminal prosecution. And while I would be shedding my role as an advocate if I became a judge, I certainly would take with me the appreciation of the gravity of the situation and the importance to everybody before the court of having a fair and open-minded judge.
Thank you.